Welcome to this overview of contract credit notes in CO3 Nucleus. This video covers how to create contract credit notes with and without generating a new invoice and takes you through the full approval workflow and invoice processing steps. To begin, open the Contract Billing tab and select Contract Credit Notes. The Contract Credit Notes screen opens in the default site of the logged-in user and displays credit notes for the selected site. The default status of New does not need to be changed when adding a new credit note. Click Add, and the Add New Contract Credit Note screen opens. Verify that you are working in the correct site. To find the details for the credit note, you can either select the customer first, then choose the invoice linked to that customer. Or you can select the invoice, which will auto-populate the associated customer and contract details. For this workflow, we will create a credit note without generating a new invoice. In this example, we'll use the Search by Customer method, but either search method can be used. Click the search icon in the Customer Name field. In the pop-up, select the customer and click OK. Currency, tax rate, and exchange rate populate based on the customer, and the date and time fields initially default to the current date and time. Click the search icon in the Invoice Number field. In the pop-up window, select the invoice and click OK. Billing period, order number, salesman, and item details populate from the selected invoice. The date and time fields update to match the original invoice. To include a reason for the credit note, click in the reference number field, then click the ellipsis. In the pop-up window, select the reason, then click OK. Update editable fee and meter fields as required. Enter a line description in the credit note line description fields. This is available for both fee and meter lines. Fee lines cannot be deleted. Instead, values can be edited or lines suppressed as needed. Next, review and update the meter readings. If a meter reading was billed incorrectly, enter the correct closing reading in the New Closing Reading field. Or use the Copy Current Closing button to populate the new closing reading fields with original values and edit if needed. Tick the Suppress on Invoice checkbox to hide a fee or meter line. This hides the line on the invoice, while the total contract value remains unchanged. Untick it to clear the selection. To remove a meter line, select the row, then click Delete Item on the ribbon, or right-click and select it from the menu. A message pops up asking if you are sure you want to remove the meter line from the credit note. Click Yes to proceed, or No to cancel. Update the Comments field to explain the credit note. Ensure the Generate Invoice checkbox remains unticked so that no new contract invoice is created from this credit note. Once complete, click Save to capture the credit note. If the meter readings are not closed, a message advises you to either force them closed or generate a new invoice. Click OK to close the message. Then, tick the Close Readings checkbox and click Save again. This applies only when a new invoice is not being generated. The credit note is listed and ready for review. The Auto-Generate Invoice column indicates whether a new invoice will be generated after approval. For this workflow, we will create a credit note that automatically generates a new invoice. This is known as Auto-Reinvoicing. On the Add a New Credit Note screen, ensure the correct site is selected. In this example, we'll use the Search by Invoice method, but either search method can be used. Click the search icon in the Invoice Number field. In the pop-up window, select the invoice and click OK. The customer and contract details populate based on the selected invoice. To include a reason for the credit note, click in the Reference Number field, then click the ellipsis. In the pop-up window, select the reason, then click OK. Enter a line description in the Credit Note line description fields. This is available for both fee and meter lines and does not affect auto-reinvoicing rules. If you remove meter lines or change any fee or meter values, the Generate Invoice option becomes unavailable. This is a system safeguard. Only permitted actions, such as suppression or meter reading corrections, are allowed when auto-reinvoicing is required. If this occurs and you still need to generate an invoice, click the Back button. You return to the Contract Credit Note screen. To proceed with automatic invoice generation, restart the Add New Credit Note process. At this point, review and update the meter readings. If meter readings were billed incorrectly, enter the correct reading in the new closing reading fields. Alternatively, use Copy Current Closing to populate all meter lines with the original readings, then adjust only the lines that require correction. For auto-reinvoicing to work, every meter line must have a value in the new closing reading fields, and no meter lines may be removed. To hide a fee or meter line on the invoice, tick the Suppress on Invoice checkbox. This hides the line on the invoice while the total contract value remains unchanged. Untick to reverse this selection if needed. In the Comments field, update the comment to explain the credit note. To enable auto-reinvoicing, tick the Generate Invoice checkbox. A new contract invoice will be generated when the credit note is approved. Click Save to capture the credit note. The credit note appears in the listing screen, ready for review. The Auto-Generate Invoice column displays Yes, indicating that a new invoice will be generated after approval. The Auto-Close Readings column indicates whether auto-close readings are set for this credit note. Ensure that credit notes and invoices are processed within the same financial period. Remain on the Contract Credit Notes screen to release a credit note for approval. With the correct site selected, set the status to New. Select the credit note and click Release for approval. A confirmation message indicates that the credit note has been successfully released for authorization. Click OK to close the message. The credit note is removed from the new list. To view it, change the status filter to Released, where it is available for review. To review a credit note, verify you are in the correct site and set the status to Released. Select the credit note, then click View to open the View Contract Credit Note screen. Once the review is complete, click Back. At this stage, you can choose to approve the credit note to finalize it, reject it if it is incorrect, or remove it from approval to make further changes. To approve a credit note, verify you are in the correct site and set the status to Released. Select the credit note, then click Approve Credit Note. Select Yes on the message asking if you are sure you want to approve the credit note. A message confirms that authorization for the credit note has been successful. Click OK to close the message. To view it, change the status filter to Approved, where the Print button becomes available. If the Generate Invoice option was selected, a new contract invoice is auto-generated. If required, a credit note can be removed from approval. Ensure the correct site is selected and the status is set to Released. Select the credit note, then click Remove from Approval. Click OK on the message confirming the credit note has been placed on hold. The credit note is removed from the released list and returned to New Status. In New Status, the credit note can be edited and released again for approval. Alternatively, it can be deleted and a new credit note raised. To reject a credit note, verify you are in the correct site and set the status to Released. Select the credit note, then click Reject Credit Note. Select Yes on the message, asking if you are sure you want to reject the credit note. A second prompt asks you to add a rejection comment. Click OK to proceed. Enter the explanation, then click Save. A message confirms the credit note has been successfully declined. Click OK to close the message. The declined credit note is removed from the listing and can be viewed on the Contract Billing Enquiries screen. Once a credit note is approved, the print button becomes available. Verify the site and set the status to approved. Select the credit note and click Print. Choose to print, email, or both, then click Accept. Print option opens a preview where you can save, print, add a watermark, export, or email the credit note. Close the preview when complete. To email a credit note, select the credit note and click Print. Choose the email or print and email option, then click Accept. In the Email Contract Credit Note screen, various details populate by default. Add or edit email addresses, and enter the email subject and message. A PDF of the credit note is attached. Use the search button to add more documents, then select the relevant document and click Open. Once ready to send the email, click Save. The document moves to printed status and can be accessed from Contract Billing Enquiries. To access the invoice generated from an approved credit note, open the Contract Billing tab and click Manual Contract Invoice. Invoices can also be accessed from Contracts Enquiry, Customer Listing, and Sales Invoices. On the Contract Invoices screen, select the generated invoice from the list. Use the Comments and Order button to view and update details. Open the invoice in View mode to view the full invoice. The Comments and Order button is also available here. The invoice must be printed before it can be posted to the financial system. From the Contract Invoices screen, select the correct site and invoice. Click the Print button in the ribbon. Choose to print, email, or both, then click Accept. Print opens the preview, where you can save, print, add a watermark, export, or email the invoice. Close the preview when complete. Invoices can also be printed from utilities Print Queue and Contract Billing Enquiries. Businesses make better decisions with CO3 Nucleus.